One, it was certainly a privilege and an honor to co-chair, and to echo and build on what Dan said, also the collaboration, teamwork was absolutely extraordinary. So I'd like to just make a couple of comments just about one is what the heck is the cloud, so we can kind of put it in some framework, and then to convince you that it's just not marketing hype that the tech companies have invented, but it is actually a practical, real way. And you know, it goes without saying that technology advancement has actually been the lifeblood of economic prosperity for almost 2 decades. Virtually every recession we've had has been led out by a recovery of massive productivity that's come out, which has been tech, and tech tends to hit adoption cycles. If you follow the history of really the industry, we tend to spend 5 to 7 years in basic research, followed by an extremely rapid period of adoption, which normally takes about 18 months. And the best analogy we have is in 2003, 2004, the first IP networks came. What an IP network said was, you didn't have to know or care what the underlying network was underneath. You could write to one layer, and all that stuff took care of itself. Well, after 5 to 7 years of development, in 18 months, IP network completely revolutionized the way we did things. You think about the growth of consumer devices, social networking, interaction, collaboration, rollout of ROM, that's all based on the fact that we changed it. So when you catch a wave, you catch a wave, and when you miss a wave, you miss a wave. So what happened after that? Well, then we had the advancement of something called x86 architecture. What that means is the ability to be able to build out massive computers by using building blocks, driving the price and availability of massively available computing. The next thing that happened was we invented something called virtualization, which is the ability to look across the network and use the compute, the storage, all simultaneously. So what is a cloud? Well, the cloud represents, it's an on-demand network access to a configurable pool of resources. So just like an IP network, you didn't have to know or care what the network was. In the cloud, you don't have to know or care for the physical underlying. What that means is we can move away from spending 78% of our budgets worrying about the physical layer and really driving the productivity, which is applications, and this will spur the next generation of application development. So why this is so critically important is, one, it's not like we just invented the term. This is the end result of 5 to 7 years of development of the pieces coming together, and none of those trends are going to reverse. Second, as the US leadership, we now have to realize is that this is the next wave, and it drives not just our computing leadership, but our economic prosperity leadership. And finally, there's no way in the whole world this is reversing itself. The report itself, and if I have one ask, I encourage you to read it. And I did hear some comments about, you know, it's great to get into the details and actually read the report, so I think that's a wonderful suggestion. It's 14 recommendations that range from what we need to do on policy to development of standards to what about education, and as Dan pointed out, research. It is an extraordinary work of not only 70 companies, but 300 individuals who actually participated in the drafting, and that in itself says that it is an enormous accomplishment that we got a report out. So with this, I also would like to commend Phil and the team. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen companies put their self-interest aside and actually come up with a very meaningful work product that something's very meaningful. The predictions about cloud are actually all wrong. It's not going to be adopted quickly. It's going to be adopted much faster because all the groundwork is been laid, and it's an irreversible trend. So I turn